What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react and learn about the Tragically Hip. I have heard this band name before, but other than that, I really have to admit, I really don't know much of anything about them, and I think that's a shame. I think it's a shame that myself and Americans in general really don't know a lot about Canadian music. Obviously, that can change from person to person, but I feel like besides, Drake and Justin Bieber and other just super ultra worldwide famous artists, a lot of great Canadian bands aren't that well known. Not to say that the Tragically Hip aren't famous worldwide. I'm sure they are. I have no idea. But I think it's fair to say maybe not compared to some of the current, super duper stars that even all the American kids are going crazy for. So I'm quite excited today to learn about the Tragically Hip. I know they're quite popular in Canada. Is that fair to say? The Tragically Hip, often referred to simply as the Hip. By the way, great band name. Great name. And the Hip. The Hip. You want to go check out the Hip later. Is that am I doing this right? We were a Canadian rock band. Oh, they're not currently a band. Like they retired or broke up, apparently. Too bad, but they were formed in Kingston, Ontario in 1984. Nice. Almost 40 years ago. Consisting of vocalist Gord Downey, guitarist Paul Langlos, I think, if I'm saying that correctly, guitarist Rob Baker, or Bobby Baker, and bassist Gord Sinclair. Two band members with the first name Gord? What are the odds of that? Is that how you get the magic? Is that how you make a great band? You get two band members named Gord? I don't know anyone with that name, and here's two. Johnny Faye. They released 13 studio albums. Wow! One live album, one EP, and over 50 singles over a 33-year career. Dang. That is impressive. 9 of their albums have reached number 1 on the Canadian charts. Okay, so they're Canadian superstars. 9 albums to reach number 1 on the Canadian charts. They are incredibly successful. Extremely successful. I think that's what kind of shocks me, like that they are obviously so well known in Canada, yet as an American, and maybe it has something to do with my age as well, they've been around 33 years, so before I was born, so maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe there are American fans, I'm sure there are. They have received numerous Canadian Music Awards, 17 Juno Awards. Between 1996 and 2016, the Tragically Hip were the best-selling Canadian band in Canada. 4th best-selling Canadian artist overall in Canada. For, wait a minute, not 10 years, 20 years. Wait. For 20 years, the Tragically Hip were the best-selling Canadian band. They're like the Beatles of Canada. Like, how did I not know this? Okay, well, it's good. It's good now, right? So, I just wanted to spend this time to get a little backstory, learn about their history there. We have a video here where the CBC is going to explain to me, what is it about the Tragically Hip? That's the burning question in my mind right now. What is it about them? And then I'm going to listen to 1 or 2 of their songs. So that should be fun as well. This is quite enjoyable for me. Discovering like a massive talent, incredible band, like just out of nowhere from my point of view. So this is kind of a treat.
I feel so good I've got to scream.
Okay.
It was the concert of a lifetime, the pinnacle of a summer-long love fest for the Tragically Hip, and it didn't disappoint.
They left it all on the stage, and the fans left it all on the floor.
They're our family back.
And Gord, we look at these t-shirts. Hold up. In Gord we trust. That is great.
It broke my heart, and I was elated to be here at the same time. I can't even express what it felt like.
Flashback nearly
Wow.
4 decades before the boys from Kingston first met.
Sounds like that this is their like farewell tour that people are attending right now. Kind of bittersweet.
A young man with a charming smile and golden curls walked
Oh, they found the yearbook photos. Oh man, these are good actually. He looks like he was destined to be in a hugely famous popular band.
into his grade 9 teacher Judy Watt's classroom.
Oh, he stood out for me as somebody who was undoubtedly going to be successful. In grade 9 drama, he performed a mime to the music of The Exorcist that people talked about and said, wow, like what a presence. So the dance
A miming dance to The Exorcist soundtrack, or wow. I think that's when you know you're gonna be good.
the movement was sort of legendary even in grade 9 and grade 10.
It was in high school where Downey began meeting the musicians who would become the Tragically Hip.
Wow.
In a town filled with cover bands, they developed a raw rock sound all their own.
Oh my gosh, he does have some moves. Hold up.
Town filled with cover bands,
Look
they
at 'em.
developed a raw rock
Oh,
sound
man.
all their own. Former Kingston DJ Steve Jordan remembers those early gigs.
You got a sense that it could explode at any time, but you also got the sense, well, if it doesn't, this is still an awesome moment. That they made you live in the moment. Every show that they do.
At a time
Yeah, they do seem very passionate. Like, no matter what the audience size, no matter what the venue, like, you can just kind of tell. Imagine being at one of those early shows when they're, like, in high school or just out of high school, and then you're like, I saw the Tragically Hip, like, 30 years ago at a bar. That'd be a pretty cool story.
when many artists were aiming for success south of the border, Gord, Paul, Johnny, and Rob sang our stories.
This was
Right. Oh, that is such a good comment. Like, that's probably so true today as well, where a lot of artists feel like they gotta make it in America or something, or that's some kind of like prize or something. But the Tragically Hip, obviously, like, I mean, from what the narrator is saying, sang the story of Canada. I'd like to learn more about what that actually means, but that's awesome. Like, and I bet you they have so many American fans as well. Like, I can just tell.
This was a band that sang about Hugh McLennan, David Milgaard, like referencing Eric's Trip in songs. Just like it's
I don't know any of those references actually.
just I'm not doing it in a look at me. This is a showboating Canadian way. It was just in a very honest, like, no,
Yeah.
actually, this is where we come from.
Right. It's good. I'm only getting little clips of the music here, but like it's obviously good and a style I really like.
91, the Hip were enjoying both artistic and commercial success, and yet doing it on their own terms.
Like, they're both square and weird at the same time, which is kind of like canon in a way.
What did he say? Did they say they're both square and weird? Like they're that's funny. They're like well-to-do, preppy, nerdy, but weird. Wow, what a combination. That I appreciate as well.
I like to think that, for sure, one of the reasons the Hip are popular is because they are different. I think it flatters us, potentially,
Yeah.
as a nation.
Rush's Geddy Lee counts himself as a fan.
Their sound is sort of born to me out of folk and blues and amplified, and the voice of Gord Downey and his poetry have
Cool.
given it a very, very unique tone.
Such high praise, like from so many people. Some famous people, others are just like people who write articles and reporters, but everyone is like, they're great, and they're like good representatives of Canada, which is awesome.
But the Hip wouldn't be the Hip without Downey's emotional, enigmatic lyrics, something friend and author Joseph Boyden has always appreciated.
Yeah, obviously any band is like, it's quite make or break with who the lead singer is. Obviously the other band members are incredible, and you can't have a band without them, and they can actually make their style of playing an instrument come through and make the band more unique, but obviously the lead singer has a pretty critical part. So it sounds like he was very unique.
It's one thing to be a brilliant poet and then have a person read your words on the page. It's a different thing to take that up onto a stage and live those words.
Wow.
You know, what Gord is able to do is to capture a novel's worth sometimes of content and of beauty in a single song. And you only have...
This guy is comparing their music to poetry. Works of art.
A few verses to do this.
The stamina Gord Downie displayed on this summer's tour was incredible, given he's battling incurable brain cancer. It's not the first...
What? Oh, what? Wait.
The stamina Gord Downie displayed on this summer's tour was incredible, given he's battling incurable brain cancer.
He's on tour with incurable brain cancer. That is sad, tragic. Well, honestly, this video is 7 years old. Let me check the Wikipedia. Gord? Whatever happened with that, though? Following Downie's diagnosis with terminal brain cancer in 2015, the band undertook a tour of Canada in support of their 13th album. The lead singer, Gord Downie, got a terminal brain cancer diagnosis and then went on tour. I mean, wow. So much respect for this. Man. And honestly, gosh, that's so tragic. Is he passed away at this point? Like, yes. After Downie died on October 17th, 2017, the band announced in 2018 they'd no longer perform under the same name. That's why at the beginning it says the Tragically Hip were a Canadian rock band. That's so sad. Wow. How powerful was this final tour, man? Man. Wow, that's emotional. Honestly, it's so sad, but it probably would have been kind of nice, you think, for Gord Downie and the band to not just sit around and kind of wallow in such a tragic diagnosis, but to maybe to flip it into something energetic and positive and like, we're going to go on tour. Like, whatever. And, man, but that's hard, though. That's hard. Okay. I did not know that.
Tour was incredible, given he's battling incurable brain cancer. It's not the first time Downie's faced challenges and channeled that into his art.
Wow, I like his outfits as well. I appreciate that.
As he did when his wife was diagnosed with breast cancer.
It makes you want to hurry up change. I mean, because you know that nothing will be the same anymore. You know, you're saying I'm going to live again without illusion. You're going to be real.
During the...
Man, I don't know. What can you say? It's not fair. It's one of the things you can say, and appreciating what an iconic band they are. What an iconic band they were. I mean, you can still celebrate them to this day, listening to their music. And me, in a way, learning about it. I feel even like this is more special, learning about this and this particular aspect of the story.
I'm going to live again without illusion. You're going to be real.
During the Man Machine Poem Tour, Gord Downie has been living that life on stage in a string of sold-out shows.
Wow.
A way to say farewell? Perhaps. But as Sarah Harmer explained on Q, it's also a chance to celebrate.
Oh my goodness. So they basically were going on this final farewell tour, essentially knowing that Gord was not going to be with us much longer. I mean, it's terminal brain cancer. Wow. Oh my, that's why everyone is so extra emotional at this constant. Like, this is like so next level emotional. Like, thinking about what this whole tour represents, and the fans and the band and the support, and it's beautiful.
And I really have felt like culturally and emotionally and a sense of identity, the hip have really sustained a lot of people in this country over the years and just given us, new ideas about ourselves and about our history.
For a boy in Fiddler's Green.
And although Gord Downie is battling an incurable disease, the story isn't over.
They never said this is their last tour, and this is a matter of, this is our kind of, we have the time now, let's do this. We have the health, let's do this now, and it's beautiful. And I know Gord is a strong man, and his family are beautiful and amazing, and there's more to come.
Wow, that's awesome. That is awesome. Sad, don't get me wrong, but going on tour after the diagnosis, performing, living like life, not letting it like drag you down, and honestly getting to share all this time with the fans, that's amazing. Like, that is special. Goodness gracious, man. So, when was this final tour? 2015, Tour of Canada, for their 13th album. The tour's final concert and band's last show was August 20th, 2016. Oh, broadcast globally by the CBC. I could probably watch that somehow at some point. Wow. And then passed away in 2017. Dang. Man, what a story. Okay, I didn't know the story. I didn't know the story was going to be like this. That is something else. Sad and beautiful, I suppose. And finally here, I can't be making like a whole reaction to the Tragically Hip without listening to some of the music. YouTube's kind of weird, sometimes you can't play the music in your videos or it's gonna all get taken down, so I'm either gonna have to alter the music here later or mute it entirely, but just know that right now I am hearing these songs. I'm just gonna listen to 20 or 30 seconds of these two, Bob Kagian, am I saying this right, and Ahead by a Century. They seem to be very popular on YouTube, so let's take a little look-see here. This one's acoustic. Instantly catchy. And this one's quite soothing. I am gonna skip ahead to the singing. Oh, this had a huge intro. Yeah, it's good. Very unique voice. I totally get it. Very catchy, very pleasant, honestly. Okay, very nice. That's Bob Kagian. And let's see if I can get away with listening to some of Ahead by a Century. This is good. So catchy, so like melodic, very like soothing. They're a rock band, according to the Wikipedia, but it's like so dang pleasant. So, like, I don't know if I got two of the acoustic songs here that are just, like, so chill and catchy, but it's obviously great music. Yeah, this is stuff you could just, like, listen to, like, on repeat, like, over and over. Like, it doesn't bug me at all. Not quite the opposite. Maybe that's the metric with which I judge music I've never heard of before. Is like, does this bug me? Could I listen to this, like, and not get sick of it? And yeah, this is very good. I know that's only, a minute of getting to actually listen to the music, but unfortunately, I can't do that too much, or YouTube's gonna get angry and take the video down. But I enjoyed that little snippets. Like, I'm getting a little glimpse into it, and it's good. It's good, and I heard a bit during the first video as well, so I quite enjoyed this. Quite an amazing story. Particularly, the sad, emotional parts about Gord Downie, and the final tour. But it's also beautiful, and the music is beautiful. So I am so glad I learned about this today. This was so worth it, and it's makes me sad that there's so many Americans like myself that don't know the Tragically Hip. I'm definitely gonna have to check out so many more of their songs on, like, Spotify in the car later or something like that, because this is clearly good music. Very good. I absolutely get it. Like, maybe the most successful, popular Canadian band has fantastic music. Who would have thought, right? Shocker. But yeah, it's good. I enjoyed it. Anyway, if you enjoyed this as well, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Canada and just Canadian culture and things about Canada I've never learned about or seen, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.